Last night, I saw the most amazing video called Inside Mae West Private Hollywood Home of 48 Years on the YouTube channel Dearly Departed Tours with Scott Michaels. By this morning, it had 35,000 views. The reason this video was exciting for me is because in the 80s, I lived right across the street at the Chateau Rossmore. My husband had told me there were rumors going around that she lived at the Ravenswood apartments across the street, but we didn't know for sure. But whenever I walked out of our place, I'd look up at all the windows over there and imagine that actress Mae West was looking down at me. I even waved once in a while. The Ravenswood apartments were built in 1930 and are located at 570 North Rossmore, which is down the street from Sunset Boulevard and Vine. In fact, once you cross Melrose, Vine Street becomes Rossmore, and some very, very famous people have lived there. Not only Mae West, who was there for 48 years until she died, but Clark Gable, Ava Gardner, and Jack Haley. Word has it that Paramount Studios, which was just around the corner on Melrose, rented it for her, and she liked it so much she stayed there until her death in 1980. On that day, reporters flooded the street, and my husband went out to be interviewed. He talked about what a great lady she was and acted as if he'd known her all of his life because he was full of BS. He was a player. In this latest video, a friend of Scott Michaels, a woman named Kim Beale, takes us on a tour of Mae's apartment, which she lives in now. She is an interior designer and has turned it into an homage for Mae and other celebrities by displaying some of their personal items that she has collected over the years. She even has a big red pillow that was owned by Tom Petty on her couch, and anyone can use it who visits there. She also has a rug that was owned by Elizabeth Taylor, and anyone visiting the apartment is allowed to walk on it. There have been few other occupants, I think 7, of the apartment since Mae died, on the bed in the small master bedroom on that fateful day, and all of them took care to preserve her memory. 2 things caused memories to come flooding back for me. One was that the tile on the bathroom walls and floor were the same as the tiles in our apartment, except that Mae's were pink and ours were green. The layout of the bathroom was the same, with the shower and bathtub being separate, and there was a dressing room with a vanity and a mirror. I mean, you gotta have that in Hollywood, right? I remember sitting in front of that mirror and enjoying and imagining the ghosts of actresses from the past sitting there. Rossmore was once known as Mistress Row because the big studio heads housed their girlfriends there. If only walls could talk, right? The other thing that got me excited was that when Scott panned out of Mae's front window, I could see the side of our building and the vertical kitchen casement window of our apartment. Mae said she liked the view because she was on the 6th floor, and she very well could have seen me cooking at the stove or feeding my 1-year-old baby. That's pretty cool. That was the amazing thing about living in Hollywood. You never knew who you were going to see. One morning, I went to the Jolly Roger restaurant on Sunset Boulevard and saw on the newsstand out front the headline said Chuck Berry was in trouble for tax evasion. We went inside, and there he was, sitting at the counter with a cup of coffee and looking kind of forlorn. No one was paying any attention to him, but I kept flicking my gaze over because I grew up watching him on television, and he was mesmerizing with a guitar. Another time, I was staying in the penthouse suite at the Hollywood Holiday Inn on Highland because Rossmore had been flooded by the rain and we couldn't get in. I looked out the window in awe because right beside the hotel was Capitol Records, huge, right before my eyes. And the next morning, I went out and saw Jodie Foster coming down the hall toward me with two of her peeps. I didn't know if I should respect her privacy or say hello as if she was anybody else. As it turned out, she said, "Good morning," in a big, cheery voice, and I said, "Good morning," back. It was a very exciting time to live in Hollywood. You just didn't know what was going to happen next. I will be posting more about my experience there, and I hope you'll join me. Thank you for listening.